Yes.
It's my own design. It's my own reality.
It's your own design, Ben.
It's a design. Help me make the most of freedom and knowledge. Nothing ever lasts forever.
That's a perfect song. Perfect song for today.
Episode number 4, MetaMentors, NextEarth. What is it worth to you, Ben, to own part of the world? That's what we're going to talk about today, because with NextEarth, you can. I mean, think about it. What would it be worth to you to own a portion of Magic Kingdom or Disney, the Vegas Strip, your favorite beach in Mexico or wherever in the world? What would that be worth to you? You can get that done on NextEarth at a fraction of the cost. You and I are invested in it. That's a big part of the reason why, is because it was a low buy-in, still a low buy-in. And I'm super pumped to talk about this world and what's going on, and the fact that it's still a sleeper, I believe. You don't hear hardly anything about it, but the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that we're going to get into is huge.
All right. Like we say at the beginning of all of our videos, none of this is considered financial advice. It's all for entertainment value or educational purposes. So you can listen to us. You can get some good ideas from us. But before you make any worthwhile investment, please check with your financial team. Ryan, have you heard of the Taihutu? I'm probably saying it wrong. It's a Dutch family. The guy's name is D.D. Taihutu. Does that name ring a bell?
No, it doesn't.
All right. When I first started looking at Bitcoin, this was one of the big news stories. I think it was 2016. The coin was about $900 a coin. This guy, Didi, sold everything he had, his cars, his house, all of their furniture, everything. He has a family of 5, I believe. And they bought all Bitcoin, just Bitcoin, at $900 a coin. Yes, all in. And for the last 5 years, they've been traveling the world living off of their Bitcoin, which at $900 a coin, now it's $40,000 a coin. So they've got plenty left. They're doing all right. They've been to over 50 countries, I believe, and they just announced on their social media that they are settling down in Portugal, because Portugal has some of, if not the world's best cryptocurrency tax laws.
Yes.
Unlike America, there's 0% tax on money made from your crypto. So they're not paying anything on their original investment. If they make money in Portugal, and so if they get paid in crypto, now they have to pay taxes on it. But any of the stuff that they bought back in 2016, they're living off of scot-free. They said Portugal is one of the best spots, much better than America, which still has a heavy tax on the cryptos that you're even allowed to invest in. A lot of the stuff, including the token for today's Metaverse, you weren't even allowed to get in on the initial token offering if you lived in America. You had to live outside of America to do it because of the laws. So kind of a pain in the butt, but there is one state in America.
Thanks for rubbing that in, Ben. I can't wait till you tell me the appreciation you've had on the coin.
It's been pretty good. It's one of those right off the bat, I wish I would have bought more, but there is one state leading the way, and it is not what you'd think for cryptocurrency leading. It's Wyoming. There was several years ago, a lady tried to, I think she went to New York, then she came back. She was from Wyoming. She tried to donate a bunch of Bitcoin to one of the colleges there, and they couldn't even accept it because they had no idea how to tax it or do anything like that. So it went from she was just trying to donate some Bitcoin to where she ended up leading the project to kind of figure out how they would classify it, ended up getting into the state government, and they've been working on a ton of ways. But Wyoming is leading the way on how to classify it, whether it's a property, a commodity, a security.
Yeah.
They want to be Wyoming. In the article I read, and I'll put a link to this article below, Wyoming wants to be to cryptocurrency what Delaware is to LLCs. You know, a lot of people who are starting an LLC will make it in Delaware, even though it's online. They'll officially build it in Delaware because they have a lot of favorable LLC laws. So Wyoming is trying to be the cryptocurrency version of that, which is pretty cool.
So you're saying we need to buy some Wyoming land on NextEarth right now?
Oh man, that's genius. I wonder.
Before we jump into that, there's two things I heard out of that. Number one, I'm wondering if that husband of that family that moved to Portugal, I'm wondering how many times his wife threatened to divorce him initially, because I know that's happening to me. And then secondly, did I hear that you knew about Bitcoin in 2015 and at $900 a coin? Did I understand that right? And you said, I'll pass, I'm doing just fine.
It was probably 2015, but it was definitely 2016. I know because when I started looking at it, it was $710 a coin, and it was, you could buy one Bitcoin for 3 shift exchanges. And I said, that's silly. I'm not working 3 days for one Bitcoin. I remember being so angry when it went from $700 to $2,500. And then I thought, well, it's out of my price range now. Now I'd have to do 10 shifts to buy one coin. Then it went to $70,000, and the rest is history. And I'm still broke. So, yeah, I remember it. In 2017, shift exchanges were $220 a shift, and Bitcoin was $710 a coin. So.
Well,
worst idea.
We're doing our part to stay in front of this, at least some of this from now on, and bring our followers with us. So I think what
yes,
yeah, for, you know,
that is one of the driving factors for doing this channel and for me and you exploring into the metaverse, because we have known about a lot of projects and watched them grow right alongside of us never doing anything about it. So one of the things that I want to do, and when you got a hold of me about this project, not this project specifically, but the metaverse stuff, I was like, that's great. I know we're early. Let's get in and figure out what to do. And not only that, but I don't know how many firefighters I told about Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. I mean, we've been talking about it, but none of us ever did anything, and we all missed the boat. So I am going to figure this out. That's why we're doing this channel, and we hope everybody sticks around and learns with us. And if they have anything to teach us, feel free to comment on any of these videos below and let us know anything that we're missing out on, because the main purpose of this for me is for me to learn, and the secondary is to teach everybody else.
Well, I can't, the anticipation's killing me. I want to hear some more about the experience. What is NextEarth? What do you got on that?
It's not very popular. Not a lot of people on it. The token that it uses is like 9,000th in popularity on CoinMarketCap. This is very small time. This has got a very small market cap for the whole project. But what it is a metaverse that is a one-to-one adaptation of the real world. So everything that exists on Earth 1 exists on NextEarth, and you can go buy a piece of that property, make an NFT out of it, and collect it. And eventually, they're going to build into gameplay. They're going to be building businesses. They're going to be building a community. They're going to do everything that every other metaverse is going to do, but it's going to be the size of the entire world. And it was, I think it's the cheapest one we've seen for sure. I mean, there's some countries here, some plots of land that you can get for 12 cents. It's incredible. In America, most of it's less than $1 per parcel. Ryan and I immediately jumped to where we're from and bought some in Wichita, Kansas. See if I can get us there.
Yeah. Wichita, Kansas, and then some. I know I enjoyed some of the vacation spots that I like to go to, and then of course some high traffic areas is where I focus next. So
yeah, that's what we both started off with, just kind of looking around. Part of the enjoyment about this, because it's brand new, they haven't really got the small games going like Decentraland. Right now, it's like getting on Google Earth. You can type in any address, any place, anywhere in the world, and I mean anywhere, like Antarctica to the Vatican City to the middle of Africa. It's weird because you always go straight to the place that you know the most. And it's like, I've been in Wichita my whole life. I don't know why this is interesting to me. But to give you an example, you can look here on the screen, and they're divided up into it's about 20 foot by 20 foot parcels. So you can grab a piece of land like that. And I think that piece right there is $1.14 USDT. So for just over $1, you can buy that little piece of land right now and officially own a piece of the metaverse, which is by far the lowest entry point we've seen out of any of these. And any place that is not snatched up is available right now. And that's most of it. In any mid-sized city and below, you can find property. I bought some in Las Vegas. There's still some available. In some of the more popular cities, like the Vatican City, that was the most expensive that we've found.
Yeah.
And that's $45 for a 20 by 20 spot. But there's also super cheap spots like in Asia or in Africa. You can get property for 12 cents a parcel, and you can buy big, giant parcels of it. Here's one in the Vatican City. There we go. All right. This is in the Vatican City. You can see that one small parcel of land is $45.05. So I don't want to step on Ryan's toes here because I know he's going to go over the lands and the properties kind of that we've owned. But what you do is you can buy any of these available properties and create an NFT when you buy it, which this whole game system is ran on the Polygon network. So you can buy something for $1.05. And all in, it costs you about $1.06, rather than the stuff that's built on the Ethereum network right now, where you're paying hundreds of dollars in gas fees. This is super cheap to buy, which is the best part. Once you get it moved over to the Polygon network, you can buy this for basically the price that it's asking. And you can see these shaded out spots here are properties that have already been purchased.
Yeah.
You can see what they bought them for at the start of this project, and the Vatican City and a lot of these other ones were reasonably priced. This one wasn't. This one's $405 for that little spot right there. And when you buy these, it turns it into an NFT, and you are the only person that owns it. So no matter what happens with this project from this point going forward, it is registered on the blockchain as your property. I'll just give you a quick look. Here's some of the ones that I've got. I just went through and bought things that were cool to me, things that places that I've been, and stuff that I thought would be kind of cool later in the development of this project. I'm gonna jump back.
Isn't that kind of the struggle? Is there's so much potential, and the guys that are creating this, the CEO, I mean, he gives hints here and there about the cooperation they're already getting, the VR that they're slowly starting to build out. I mean, the anticipation and the direction of the project is, I mean, it's who knows, and that's
correct.
What's part of so exciting about it.
Right. That is the most exciting part. When you first told me about it, and we've been doing it now for 3 weeks or maybe almost 4 weeks, but we're so far out, they don't have or they at least publicly haven't announced a clear direction. I know they're not leaning more towards gameplay. They're more leaning towards like a business use or actual commerce, buying, selling, and community. It won't be a game the way that Axie Infinity is, but they do have a plan to get it into VR. And when it becomes VR, when you are able to get in there and walk around and experience anywhere in the world, like we've talked about in the other videos, what's the difference? I mean, there between gameplay and every other type of metaverse, it's all a game at that point. And you can see on the screen here some of the different lands that have been purchased in Wichita. So Wichita is still pretty open, except for some of the major landmarks like Century 2. Somebody's snatched that up. Yeah. But big cities like London and New York, I know one of them, I've got the notes here. One of the major sales already, they have a marketplace on NextEarth. And one of the major sales was the New York Met. The New York Met was bought originally with all the tiles about $100, and it sold on the marketplace for $32,000. So that's a pretty good flip right there. And like we've talked about, we don't really know whether or not it will be more profitable to hold on to these, or if it's a better idea to flip some and make some quick cash. In the long term, some of these are probably going to pay off, and who knows how much per year or what kind of credits or residual crypto that you could earn from some of these major properties. It's cool to turn 100 into 32,000, but if that same property could make $10, $15, $20,000 a year in crypto, maybe it's worth hanging on to. Either way, I didn't buy anything cool enough to flip for a big profit, so maybe that's why I'm just hoping that I could hold on to and make my money coming up. But some of the other major sales, they have bought and sold the pyramids. They have bought and sold the Coliseum right here. The Coliseum, Yankee Stadium, Cowboy Stadium, all of that. I even bought a small piece of Hadrian's Wall in England, big wall. It's the England Great Wall of China. I bought a small piece of that and some castle ruins because I thought that's pretty notable and could be pretty cool later on. I don't know. I just thought it was real cool, and now I own an NFT of Hadrian's Wall. And this stuff is not anything that has been created by a computer program. This is the real world. And you can go look at mountains. You can go look at Mount Everest. You can buy the base camp at Mount Kilimanjaro. You can go to the Rockies. It's very, very interesting. And as this game progresses into the play to earn, play to experience, stuff like that, they've talked about their play to earn experience. They're not sure exactly what the experience where you'll be earning, but they said it's going to be a free barrier of entry. Everything about this, they're trying to keep it low cost. And rather than going and buying a $500 NFT to be able to get in and play the game like in some of the metaverses, it's going to be a free entry to play. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago, they said there was, I think 20,000 landowners, but 180,000 people have registered into this metaverse. So there are 180,000 accounts here, and those people will be able to come in free of charge and do what I'm doing, experience it, look around. You'll be able to do the game and hopefully earn the token that they just launched last week, the NXTT token. That's going to be the sand and the mana equivalent. It's the native utility token for NextEarth.
Yeah, it's so good to hear you say that, when you first pulled it up and the map aspect of it was attractive to you, because me, I don't really play video games and I'm not that creative. So to me, it was attractive to me because it just made sense. But I worried that maybe I wasn't looking at the metaverse correctly, and that that it wasn't going to be a success because people were more interested in Sandbox or Decentraland or Axie Infinity. So to hear you, somebody who's very much into games and the creative aspect, to latch right onto it from the beginning, that makes me feel more like, okay, I was on point at least a little bit here.
Right. And I think because I look at it like a video game, it makes it that much more impressive, because you think, what would it take to build out, think Sandbox is 164,000 parcels.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a huge world. If you think of the Grand Theft Autos and the open world video games, those are huge worlds. And those are nothing compared to the real world. And when you look at how much information is available on this platform, I mean, you're able to go from Wichita, Kansas to Siberia, to the North Pole, to the South Pole, to any vacation destination. Here's one of my spots right here, right in front of the Las Vegas, welcome to Las Vegas sign. I own this little piece of the Las Vegas Strip. And that might only be cool to me, but it is cool to me. And it's weird that it's cool to me because, like I said, I don't know what I'll ever do with it, but I own the NFT of a good chunk of South Las Vegas Boulevard, and I love it.
Well, it's no different than like Sandbox or Metaverse. If you end up owning a prime location and, you know, whatever happens with the gaming, if you have hundreds or thousands or 100,000 or millions of people passing by this spot, you know, what's that advertising location going to be worth?
Right. Well, we'll find out. We'll report back in 1 year and see where NextEarth is and see where I'm at in the metaverse real estate business.
Yes. You're a landowner, Ben. You're a landowner now. Did you know that?
I am. I made it, Mom.
Awesome.
Yep. And so right now you can buy everything. You buy the property with Polygon, with the Matic coin. That's how you do it. Man, they make it super easy on here on the game. They've just launched their native utility token, which is what they're going to be doing game experiences and land purchases with. It's the NXTT, which stands for NextEarth token. It just launched. You had to have $100 worth of land, and you had to not live in America to be able to get in on it. So I bought 150,000 tokens. I forgot how much Matic it was worth, but it was about $220, $240 worth. In the 2 weeks that I've had it, man, it's not even been 2 weeks yet. It's up over $1,000. So it's gone up 4 times. I think right now, one NXTT is worth just over half of a US penny. So again, like we were talking about with sand and mana, those are pretty cheap to buy. You can buy those for $3 and $4. This one is just over half a penny. So everything about this project is early and cheap. We don't know whether or not it's going to eventually be anything, whether it'll be successful or whether it's one that just sort of drifts off into nothing. But occasionally you have to put a little bit of money into the long shots because they're going to pay off the most. It's going to be hard for Decentraland to grow 100 times bigger than it is right now. Not impossible, but harder. But NextEarth, like the NXTT, the token on CoinMarketCap is 9,800th place. So it's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And it has the potential to.
But it's got tremendous momentum in the community and the team behind it. They really seem to be going places. So it's almost, to me, it's unknown, but the momentum the momentum and the structure is all there. And on a quick side note, I may have discovered a way that you can actually buy NXTT if you're in the States or one of the countries that's not allowing it. I'm getting ready to see that through and purchase some today. So if you are interested in buying the NXTT and you're in one of the countries that's not able to, shoot us a message and I'll let you know how that went. And if it's even possible. So stay tuned in for that. Let us know if you're interested in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. And like everything else, just because that's terrible advice. I was going to say, just because it's not legal in America doesn't mean you can't do it. Don't take that. This is also not legal advice. We don't do financial advice. We don't do legal advice, but there's always a way to get a hold of it. It was just much harder to get involved in the initial token launch if you're a resident of America. So
exactly.
I think, I mean, as far as gameplay, like I said, this is so early. They don't have, Decentraland wants to have 5,000 games by the end of next year. Right now, they've got a dozen or a couple, almost 100 experiences. So they're already in track to do that. This one is so early. They don't have, the owners keep talking on their Ask Me Anythings about the partnerships that they're getting and the direction they're going. But this is so early that there isn't a lot that can be done here yet, except for exploring and buying, which is good for the owners, because I mean that's what you would do in the game, is get on here and explore and buy stuff. And it's good for you because by the time this does become popular, by the time they do have a route, by the time they say who they are partnering with or the gameplay or start releasing stuff like that, a lot of the good property is going to get snatched up very quickly. So now is the chance, if you're ready to take a long shot on a crypto metaverse project, NextEarth is going to be the one that Ryan and I are throwing a little bit of money at. But you only have to throw a little bit of money if it's going to go up 1,000x.
And again, the fun part is the parcels that I bought are to me are very cool. So honestly, the lands are already appreciating, so there is value already being made. But like you said, if this thing goes nowhere, just owning the parcels that I own is a fun conversation starter and just really cool to add to my collection that people can see in the future as they're cruising my NFTs.
Absolutely. And that's another great point. Again, to get any NFT on the Ethereum network, you're spending hundreds of dollars in gas to just get it, plus whatever you're paying for the NFT. Well, you can go get your childhood home right here for about 99 cents and almost no gas fees. And that's an NFT that stays with you in your wallet forever. So even just for the nostalgic sense, there's so many cool ideas. You know, the place you met your significant other or your favorite vacation spot. I bought a spot in the Bahamas called Ben Bay Beach. Either way, very nice little beach in the Bahamas because it had my name in it. That was, and I just thought that's cool. And it's a pretty good chunk NFT that I can keep in my wallet, and I'll be able to display whenever I'm doing, in the future with different metaverse projects. So I love it
virtually one day.
Yeah. I'm going to do that in Las Vegas. Next time I'm in Las Vegas, which will be later this year, I'm going to go stand on the property that I own in NextEarth and get my picture taken, because to me, that is super cool. And I don't know why it's super cool, but it is super cool. Like, it's cool to own land in Decentraland or, any of the other projects. But it's like, to me, it's super cool to go to a place that exists in the real world and say, I own it on NextEarth. Like that, that's very interesting to me.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you, clearly. All right, Ben, that was really interesting. I'm going to jump into the lands here. We're trying to keep this going. So this is basically the first screen that comes up on NextEarth, and you can see that there's a total of 433,839 NFTs minted. Now, this isn't the actual individual tiles, parcels like you were talking about. These are any NFTs. So this might be one tile. This might be up to 1,000 tiles, and that would be considered one NFT. It's whatever you bought at that one purchase that you got to collect there. And this here is the commission pool that has been paid out to actual NextEarth landowners through the 5% discount code and some other avenues. So that's really unique. Also, what this world is, there's units that get paid out to you as an actual landowner if you help other people come on board, or if you're part of the Discord, you're part of the community. The community aspect with this project is huge, just like it seems like all the good projects. And that's one of the biggest reasons I bought into, was seeing the community strength. And then down here is the actual charity pool. NextEarth is approaching $1 million in charity funds that they've raised for environmental charities. And they've got a list of them. I think there's 3 or 4, but pretty amazing. And this is one of the biggest things that the team and the CEO are most proud about of NextEarth, is the amount of money they've raised for charity. So down here, you've got the most expensive countries as far as the land prices go, and then also most popular countries. And These here are going to be your most expensive, because the way that NextEarth works is the pricing when you buy the land is really based on three principles. It's the overall popularity of NextEarth, so how much land is sold in general, that, you know, with each piece that sells, the price kind of increases a little bit. The country that you're actually looking to buy in, the popularity. So in this case, if you're looking to buy, the fact that America is one of the most popular to buy in increases the cost. So that hurts a little bit, but that also increases your land value as an owner. So it's a double-edged sword there. That's, you know, good and bad. And then the third part is just popularity country to country. So compared country to country, how popular that land is or that country is also increases the price to invest in or buy tiles in. But again, it also increases the land value. So it's not such a bad thing. But this is the first screen, really good information here. Let's jump into the actual map. Some of this you've already seen with Ben. This map starts out or spawns initially in Hungary, which is where the CEO and the team is mostly located. And so this is the first map, and you can see these tiles here that Ben alluded to. But then you can go ahead and type in all types of search parameters based on longitude and latitude. It'll bring up that area. So one of my family's favorite vacation spots is Destin, Florida. And so if we type in Destin, it's going to zoom over there. And I'm going to hit on this a little bit more, but one of the value propositions, because there's a lot of strategy talk on what's the best places to buy land, what's the best strategy. Do you buy it where monuments, do you buy monuments or close by stadiums? What do you actually buy that's going to be good value-wise? One of the things that the conclusions I've come to just from other metaverses and games is spawning locations. Wherever that spawning location is going to be, I think there's going to be great value in that land that you type in Destin, Florida, it takes you to a specific location. This is, you can see how this is green here, Ben. As you know, this is an area that I've started to buy land in. I've cheated a little bit by just spreading it out here. I've only done this on a few purchases, but this land was a little bit expensive, so I kind of spread it out so I could reserve my money and use it in other locations. But this beach here is somewhere that my family and I have spent time on and have really enjoyed. So I snatched that location up, and it's actually increased in value also, which I'll show a little bit of that later. But
real quick,
yeah,
before you get too far away from Destin, just scroll up a little bit right over by the Destin Bridge by Crab Island.
Why does this show always have to be about you, Ben?
Look at that. That's me. Circle K right there. I own that little bit of Crab Island. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I like Destin also.
Yes, I don't know anybody that doesn't, so that automatically seemed like a good spot to purchase or at least part of. And there's so much of it that's still available, unclaimed. There's a ton of resorts and stuff. So as Ben had mentioned, there's tons and tons of opportunities still. It's just what do you relate to? But like Ben was speaking about, this map is a 1x1 tile. It's broken down into 1x1 tiles, and those 1x1 tiles are actually 10 meters by 10 meters. In real life or real land. From what I've read, I didn't find anything that said exactly how many tiles there are, but the prediction is that there'll be more than 1.4 million landowners by 2023. So basically a year from now. And that of those 1.4 million landowners, they will own more than 3.5 billion tiles. So we know that at least there's more than 3.5 billion tiles, which is a big part of what makes the buy-in cost effective on this, because you can you can start with one tile and you can buy up to 1,000 tiles at a time, purchase those, and then keep buying from there. So that helps tremendously with the buy-in. And you can also kind of sneak into locations that maybe somebody's bought property in. For instance, your Circle K here, I could come in here and add my own little design in here, get creative, whatever. But I've got my eyes on other parcels for now, Ben, so you're safe.
All right, good.
One of the again, this team, it's so early in this project, and this team and the vision that they have is so broad, and they're keeping it real tight to their chest. But one of the things that they've talked a lot about is, regardless of where you own land, some of it's going to be more valuable than others, but there's opportunities to build out your land or improve it through what's called skins. And if you are 16 and younger, maybe even 25 and younger, you know what skins are. To me, this is a whole new word I had to learn not that long ago when my kids started playing Fortnite. So but anyways, they're going to offer what's called inner and outer skins. And basically, it's just a way to improve your land. The more improved your land is, the better the residual income is going to be for your actual property, along with some other factors, how much you own, the location it's in. So all those things will kind of play into part. And that will tie right into the next token, NXTT, that you had spoke about. That's going to tie right into there with the residual income. Now, that income, most of that income is going to come from what they call a partnership or a service provider. So essentially, you have two people in NextEarth. You have landowners and you have service providers. Now, a landowner can also be a service provider. Those service providers are going to have the opportunity basically to market their business in different fashions. And because of that, they're going to pay a standard fee depending on where they're at. And then that fee it will vary depending on location, size, and all that. Part of that fee is going to go into an actual pool of income. And then part of that pool will be paid out to every landowner. So regardless of whether you own somewhere in Iceland, or somewhere in the middle of the country, or you actually own the Vatican or Kansas City Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium, there's going to be opportunity. You're going to receive some residual income. It's just going to vary to how much by some of those factors of location and land and so forth. So I love the idea that I'm buying land within this NextEarth that I can relate to, that's appreciating in value, because land is being bought all around it, and there's a residual income aspect of it. One of the other things that I'm betting on, I mentioned the spawn location being a great location. One of the other things I'm betting on is buying high traffic areas, whether it's celebrity homes or car lots or airports, some of those areas. So along with the vacation spots like in Destin I Joy, I'm also buying what I think will be high traffic destinations. So let's jump over to the auction site here. So you can buy land one of two ways in here, Ben. As you know, you can go in and actually find spots and purchase it. If it's been purchased, you can go into the marketplace, and they've got buy now here. And I believe there's also an opportunity to buy auction property also, or to bid on it. I've yet to do this because I've found plenty of good property on my own. I don't feel like paying increased costs for places, for a certain stadium. So
there's still plenty of property available, plenty of unique property for original price. That the secondary market is for people who know that they want the Met or the Statue of Liberty or something like that. But if you're creative and you can think outside the box, there is still plenty of stuff to be purchased for the original asking price. There's a lot of stuff that has never been claimed that you can still get for less than $1 an acre or $1 a tile.
Absolutely. So here's some of the lands that I own. Some of these are roads. This is Apex City, which I think is one of the best value opportunities. I'm going to show that here shortly. I bought quite a bit in there. Big Cedar Lodge. I bought some stuff in my local town here. There's Destin there. Joyland. I know you're harboring feelings about this one, Ben.
I'll probably buy that from you one day.
But these are just some of the properties that I bought, again, at affordable prices that I think are going to be valuable. But let's go back to the map here. I want to show you this Apex City. This is an area that was basically developed by someone way smarter than me, got a bunch of people together in an area that was really cost effective and started purchasing land. And there is a ton of stuff going on here, but this is our first spot that we're going to call Deal of the Day, that I think provides a really good opportunity to pick up some affordable land. in a booming location. And so as we scroll in here, you can immediately see these start to highlight because these are all purchased. As you scroll up here to the peninsula, this is kind of the main area where this all started a few weeks back. One of the coolest things about this NextEarth that is really catching on, it started slowly, but it's really catching on, is this opportunity to create what they're calling art. You can either create land art or art on the water. If it is let me step back. There's basically three types of land or tiles. You have urban, non-urban, and water. You can turn your water and non-urban tiles into art. The urban tiles, so over a city, over a town, you cannot turn that into art at this time. But some of these art pieces that have been designed out here are really stinking cool. All right. And Ben and I have alluded to that we're going to be giving away NFTs here randomly from show to show, or, we haven't decided how often, but this is your first one. So congratulations. We're about to select and purchase a actual NFT on NextEarth. We can't go too crazy. We don't have a ton of money, but we want to get this right. So $48. That's pretty good, I think, Ben. Do we want to shift it over a little bit, or what do you think?
No, it doesn't have to be centered up. It's the metaverse. That's perfect. That's a good spot. It'll be very easy to find. You'll know it's just above the Iron Man, Mega Man dude in Apex City. I think that's a great spot for somebody's introduction to the metaverse. I love it.
I think it's pretty awesome. So as you can see here, I click buy now here. It takes me over to this area. I'm going to enter in this 5% discount code. You can use the one at the bottom of the screen. That's my code. So we can't actually use I can't use this code. You got to use somebody else's. So I enter the 5% in, it discounts it. We're purchasing in Matic here. We'll include some links on how to actually purchase Matic on the Polygon network so that you can do these. But for now, we're going to give this away. So Ben, do you want to tell everybody how they can win this NFT?
Yes. All right. What we're going to do is we're trying to get our channel to see, or, more people to see our channel. So we're going to put a link at the bottom. If you go into the description of this video, you'll see the rules for this little competition. Very, very easy. All you need to do is copy that link and share it on any of your social media channels, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you have, whatever's easiest for you, share it. And then comment on this video that you shared it and a link to where you've shared it, if that's possible. At the end of this month, February 28th, we're going to go, everybody who has commented and shared, we're going to assign them a number. We're going to draw a random number, and whoever gets it will get a hold of you probably via YouTube, and get your information and figure out how to get this over to you.
Boom. There it is. It's bought.
So that's the actual piece. If you go right now, if you sign up for NextEarth, you get your free account. You can get in there and you can explore for free. Go to Pimba Cabo Delgado, or can you get there by typing in Apex City?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always typed in the Pimba, and then the rest of this comes up.
Gotcha. So type that in. You can't miss it because it's right above Iron Man's head. So that will be given away by the MetaMentors at the end of this month, February of 2022, to one of our viewers. Now, if you can do math, you'll know that we don't have a lot of viewers right now. So your odds are very good. I suggest doing this quickly because your odds are better winning this piece of the metaverse than they are in any other competition on any other YouTube channel right now.
Absolutely.
Next month's might not be as easy. Next month we'll have more viewers, and it's going to be harder to get a piece. So this is your best odds right now. Subscribe to this channel, share the link below, and comment on this video that you've shared it, and you will be entered into the drawing to win that chunk of Apex City right now.
Yeah. So this is officially our land deal of the day, and this is actually more location because this Apex City stretches all over this part here, all over Pimba. You can see people are buying it up like crazy, creating all sorts of stuff. They're actually already creating buildings and all sorts of different types of just all types of different structure besides the art you can see here. So this is a very, very cool location that's taken on a lot of traffic. This is actually Party Beach here.
The first thing I bought in NextEarth was a skyscraper in Pimba, in Apex City, called it Apex Tower. I think I just spent a couple of bucks, just bought a small piece, but that was the very first thing I did. And I went, man, that was easy. And then the next thing you know, I'm buying land all over the world.
Yeah, it's a little addictive. You got to really restrain yourself sometimes. So this wraps up our episode of NextEarth. Deal of the day, giving away our first NFT parcel. Follow along, like Ben said, and share. And this one could be you. Any closing thoughts on NextEarth, Ben? Anything that we missed?
I don't think that we've missed anything. I think there's a lot of unknowns with this project, which is the best part. Like I said, once people know about it, once this becomes mainstream, once this has 1 million users, it's going to be a lot harder to walk in and buy some land right above Iron Man's head or wherever town you're in, or a piece of London or a piece of New York City.
Yeah.
Now is the time to get into projects like this. You don't have to put a lot of money in there to get a piece of some of these great locations. And as far as the metaverse goes, we've gone over the prices with Decentraland and Sandbox, and it is expensive to even get started in those. And this is not the case with NextEarth. So if you're looking to get started in the metaverse, maybe this is for you.
We sure
like
think
it.
so. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up another piece while we're here. I mean, we're already here anyways.
And that's how it happens. Then boom, your MetaMask wallet is empty.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up because it's about to get embarrassing how much Matic I'm going to start spending if I don't get off of here.
All right. Well, before we go, next week, Axie Infinity, we're going to go the other way. So this one's more tailored towards business to business, advertising, and community. Axie Infinity aspires to be a AAA rated online blockchain game, NFT based. I think it's out of Vietnam. The company that created it is out of Vietnam, but Axie Infinity, and I know they just hired, we'll talk more about this next week. They just hired the product lead from Pokemon Go, the app Pokemon Go, which is a huge game. And if you know anything about addictive online games, you know Pokemon Go is one of them. So what a great guy to have on the team at Axie Infinity. That's what we're going to be doing next week. Axie Infinity, stick around for that. I think that's it.
That's going to be definitely, these worlds are so different. That's going to be, I'm really interested in seeing, really interested in learning about Axie Infinity because on the surface, I have zero interest in it, but apparently I'm a loser because over 1 million people a day are playing on it and earning an income. There's something
right.
there.
And that's the thing. Like we've talked about, the thing that leads the way is gambling, adult sites, and gaming in everything. In media, that's what made the choice between VHS and Betamax. That's what made the choice between Blu-ray and HD DVD. That's what decides where technology goes. It's usually gaming and gambling. And gaming, Axie Infinity, is poised to be one of the lead games in the NFT industry. So whether you're into games or not, it's something to be looking into if you're into making money.